Recording. I hate that I can't see. It's so buggy. And make sure you wait until I say record. Yep. Good afternoon and welcome to another live episode with Build Idaho. We're excited to have you hang out with us today for a little bit. And today we're going to talk about land. So if you're in the market for land, I just kind of have some simple advice we want to share with you. Obviously, every person and every opportunity is different, so there are specifics that we might not cover here today, but there are definitely some things that are just some basic questions you can be asking about land if you're in the marketplace for it. Just as a note, there's a difference for me between land and a building lot. So a building lot is within a subdivision. It's got a building pad, so there's a place for you to build. It's in a designated area that's probably got other lots around it. But today I want to talk about land. So we're out there maybe in Idaho City, or maybe there's a piece of ground that's an ag piece of ground that you'd like to purchase maybe for residential purposes. But there's some questions you should be asking yourself when you're looking at land. So the first one is, how much land do you really need? So we get a lot of requests for land here in Boise, Idaho. People come and think that they can find a lot of land. And to be honest with you, actually in today's world, today's market, there's actually not a lot of land available. But when you do find land, you should be asking yourself, how much land do you really want? So for example, a lot of people would like something that's between 1 and 10 acres. And a lot of times between the price and just the scale of having that much land, we tend to talk people out of maybe that. Again, price is a big one, but B is how much work do you want to have? I mean, if you buy 10 acres, do you want to manage 10 acres? And most people say, no, I just want some space between me and the neighbors. I don't really want to have neighbors beside me. And so I just like enough land that I can have that space. And so I guess there's two solutions we can talk about from there. A would be finding the right lot that's got what you're looking for, or building lot or land. And secondly, what if the land backed up to BLM? Would you need 10 acres if the back of it, or even maybe some of the sides of it, were next to BLM land? Well, no, then I've got what I want here. I've got my privacy, and I can just kind of have the space that I need between myself and my neighbors. So when you're looking at land, again, ask yourself, how much land do you really need or want? Because if you buy a lot of land and you need to manage that land, is that something that you really want? Do you want to spend a half a day mowing an acre or more? So again, ask how much land you really need for yourself. Secondly, is how much do you really want to spend on the land? So a lot of people are buying land and want to build their custom home. But if you buy land comes with a lot of variables. So, for example, how far away is power? How far away is sewer or septic or city services, or I guess city services? So one of the questions you should be asking yourself when you go to look at land is, where are the things that I'm going to need to build my house on the land? So if you're doing, if you need power and it's a mile down the road, that's a huge additional cost you may have to incur to get the power to your land. Sometimes even if it's across the street, it may take a lot of money to get it either under the road or over or whatever it might be. So there's a lot of questions you should be asking when you're buying land. And just back to the money thing, land is only part of the purchase, because if you're going to be building, that's a whole other piece of the puzzle. And both of those come with a lot of variables in terms of what they may actually cost. So for example, one time I was with a client and they wanted to buy a piece of land that was in the foothills. And in our due diligence period, we met a well driller, and by chance he was telling us about the property he was currently on, and he explained to my client that he was drilling his second hole, and the first hole had no results and was $50,000. And my client was like, "Well, I can't really gamble that there's going to be water, much less on the second hole." So we actually backed out of that opportunity, but it's a great way to find out what it may cost to build on that lot, right? Or land. So additionally, you should learn about what the land is zoned. So what if you buy a piece of land and it's zoned for something that you can't actually do with it what you were intending? So one of the questions you need to make sure you're asking is what the land is zoned, so you can understand what the possibilities are with that piece of land and make sure it's in alignment with what you want to do with it. And additionally, well and septic, septic in particular, I guess, is also another variable. Like, If you are going to buy a piece of land and build a home on it, um, well and septic at a whole nother level of expenses to it, as opposed to just hooking into city services. Again, what if water's not in the first hole? And in today's market where costs are going up pretty fast, a lot of clients I've worked with have a particular budget and it's very tight. And if things don't add up exactly as they intended to, the client would either have to, not have that or be underwater in the house. And so what do you do when all of a sudden you can't afford to build what you are already underway with, right? So anyway, if you're looking for land in the Treasure Valley, there's a lot of opportunities here across southern Idaho. Bigger pieces of land are getting harder to find. And again, if you do find something, make sure you're asking lots of questions. Can I do with the lot or the piece of land that I intend to? Where's power? If I'm going to be with city services, that's great. How close are they? If I'm going to do well and septic, what does that look like? A lot of times when we're doing land deals, we also encourage people to maybe start talking to builders and actually bringing someone with us to the land to go look at it. And as you explain what your vision is for your house, have them kind of eye it out and make sure it all is going to make sense. So we're glad to help you with land purchases here in Idaho, and we're glad to work with people who have questions and just kind of walk through some different scenarios. We'll learn more about what your vision, what you're trying to accomplish, and if we can help you get it done, we'd be more than happy to. And also, as a note, we do Facebook Lives regularly. Our next one will be Wednesday. And this Friday, you can join Michelle Pennick and I, and she's going to talk to us about local restaurants, because although we love real estate, we love living in Idaho, and we look forward to sharing more about local restaurants with you.